Black 22.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Hey, stop.
Check 13.
Now the former Notre Damer. This is C.J. Procise. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Watch it. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3.
Easy.
Check. Let's go, D.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fielded at the 20. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
Set. 60 or.
Watch 54. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Gone. Big grip.
They'll go with Darius Geis, who missed all of 2018 with injury. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
30 base.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are.
He's got a man. Complete. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready. White. Blue ready. Let's go.
On 1st down, Procise. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Procise. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Bruce Ellington with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing.
Touchdown, 49ers! Darius Geis, 79 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to get
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Lambo to add on the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter.